Now let us talk on some of the evidences. Now this is the grid system. Okay, now this is the Mohenjo-Daro city. Have you seen the Mohenjo-Daro film, right? So in that film, you would be having some of the perspective, or you might have built some of the perspective. What was the life during that period? How the buildings were built, how they were planned. Okay, so what were the protocols being followed during that time? Okay, so if you see this picture, okay, this is the higher end of the city and this is the lower end. So this is known as Citadel. Okay, it is the main city from where the administration and every management runs, and these are the houses of the common people. So they were kept out of the citadel, and this citadel was completely fortified. Okay, see the grid patterns over here and see the fortification over here. It tells about the security that has been provided. It tells about the community gap that was being followed during the administrative process. In today's date also, if we go to the parliamentary building, will we be allowed to enter the parliament? No, we won't be allowed directly to enter the parliament building or the parliament premises. There are some rules and protocols that not everyone can enter into the parliament building. What is the reason? The reason is simple: the security of the nation, the security of the region, right? And the same protocols, it has been observed, that were followed during this period. Fine. Now, if we take some other evidences, see, how was the citadel system exactly in this era? Okay. Now, this is the fortified town. Okay. Now, the far away there are village people. Okay. And within this is the citadel. Okay. So, see here, citadel has the water harvesting. Okay. This citadel has also the market provision. Okay. This citadel also has the community hall. Okay. And this citadel also has the administrative hall. So it tells us about how administration was departmentalized very expertisely. It tells us about the protocols that were being followed during this period. Although this image is animated image, okay, it is a derived image from the past evidences. Now there are just broken bricks over there at a present site, like what we see in this image, like this something. Now this is a complete image, but some of them are totally broken. Okay. So based on the evidences, we have built or generated this AI images now. Okay. Now this was the city view. Okay. Or the administrative view. Now, there were also evidences which Daya Ram Sahni saw, that there were evidences of the drainage system. See how straight drainage system is there. And see, the drainage system is differently built from the common soil. Okay, see here, there are bricks and the stones that have been used. Now, these are the bricks and these are the stones. There were both of the evidences, stone also and the bricks also. See the shape that were carved. Now, it tells about the industry, brick industry, that was evident. Now, the burning, then shaping all those bricks, then burning and then transporting it. It has to be done at some or the another site, right? And this site is the industrial site, right? So, we can say upon this evidences that the brick industries existed during this time. Like what we do in the present times. We have construction sector differently, real estate sector differently. Similar way, they also followed the same way. If you see the parallel drainage system. See, they are cut out at a 90-degree angle, okay, covering the house. See the geometrical angles they have been, or the geometrical calculations, how they accurately they have played. Now, these are cutted at 90-degree angle, okay, 90-degree angle. Correct 90-degree angle. So these are the evidences which Daya Ram Sahni had found out during his excavation in 1921. Now what more did we found? We found that there were some of the religious aspects also that were being evident during this period. Although they didn't follow any particular religion, but yes, they worshipped goddess also and god also. That is the male god also and the female goddess also. Okay, so here we find that there was no inequality in the belief system. Okay, so this evidence has been gathered from the image or the idol which we get from the IVC. Now this is mother goddess. Okay, here she is wearing loin cloth and the girdle. Okay, now she is having pellet eyes and the beaked nose, okay, of the figures, which are very crude. Now mouth is indicated by the slit. Okay, now this is female goddess. Female goddess. Now when we talk about the god, we got the Pashupati seal. Now this is a seal. This is Pashupati seal. Who is Pashupati? Who is Pashupati? Pashupati is Shiv Shankar. Okay, we call Shiv Shankar as a Pashupati also, right? So Pashupati evidence is being found out over here. Although the pictorial representation of Pashupati is something different. The Pashupati is having two horns, okay, and beyond that he is also wearing some clothes, some of the ornaments, and he is having some of the aged tool like a knife in his hand. Okay, beyond this he is sitting on some of the asana, and there is an evidence of deer. Okay, here there is an evidence of deer. So this marks that this people knew the deer animal, and it tells us that during this period deers were available. Okay, beyond this we find the rhinoceros. Okay, beyond this we find elephants. See, elephants. So can I say during that period elephants were evident? Can I say during this period we had rhinoceros? Can I say that during this period we had deers, we had goats? Okay, and beyond this the fishing. Okay, see this, these are the fishes. Okay, so can I say that this seal might be used for trading purpose, because it tells many more things about the activities that were being carried out during Indus Valley Civilization. Now beyond that we had also found, beyond the rhinoceros, beyond the deer, we had also found the antelopes which were present on the sill. Okay, now see, here is the different animal, here is the different animal. Okay, so all of the animals are being presented. So see, here it is tiger. So we have the tiger evidences also there. Again, the Pashupati is sitting cross-legged. Okay, cross-legged, or what we call it as Padmasana. Okay, so meditation is also being present during this time. So this signifies the cultural evidences that were present during this time. Beyond this, Daya Ram Sahni had found out that the crafts and the art were evident in the form of the jewelries that were worn by the women as well as men. Now there was a torso which was being found in this Harappan civilization. What is the torso? Torso means only the upper part of the human figure. Okay, that is torso. So a torso was also found out at the Harappan civilization, who wore n number of jewelries. Now this torso was a beard king. Okay, beard king, okay, who had the long hairs, who wore the royal clothes, okay, who had the beard moustache. So all this reflected that the beauty aspects were also being maintained by these people. Okay, so beauty aspects with respect to the ornaments, with respect to the hairstyles, dressing styles, everything was prevalent during this period. Now see, this is a necklace, okay? These are some of the earrings, bracelets, okay? These are the belts, okay? So all of this we have got through excavation. Now, there were also some of the pottery wala evidences where we got some of the toys like bullock cart, okay? We got the toys of the animals who had the wheels. So here, can I say that Harappan civilization knew the wheels, okay? Wheels. Harappan civilization knew the bullock carts, okay? Now beyond this, this is the animal, small animal, okay? So as we got the evidences of the wheels and the bullock carts, it is very obvious that these people followed the civilized agriculture, okay? And if we talk about the agriculture, we first need to ensure that there would be some of the transactions that are being taking place. Now in Stone Age period, I have talked about the barter system. Okay, so barter system had a major one challenge. What was the challenge? Now, if I am supposed to exchange my wheat with some another person, okay, now that person also needs to be in need of the wheat. If I want his jowar, okay, I'll have to give my wheat. But what if he don't want jowar? Now, this mismatch would not get this transaction to be successful. And that is why the human started with the coinage system. Okay, and that is why we'll see that the coins and the seals were developed from some of the metals like iron, bronze, copper. During IVC, we'll majorly find the Bronze Age. Okay, so here the seals would be consisting of the bronze metal, okay, bronze, silver, gold. Okay, so in this time, this seals had some of the script which is undecipherable, okay, and some of the animal motifs which were drawn on the seal. Maybe they might have to say something about this animal, or they have to trade something about this product or the cell of this animals, okay, and some of the script was being written over here on the cells. Maybe it might be the amount, okay, which reflected the transactions, okay. So this were the seals that were found during the Harappan age. There were also some of the potteries which were found during 1921 excavation. Okay, now up till the Neolithic age and the Chalcolithic age, I have talked about the polished wares, the polished pottery wares. Okay, during the Paleolithic or during the Microlith, I have told you that there were grey wares. Okay, but when we come towards the Neolithic, we found out that there were polished red and black wares, pottery wares, okay, and which were carved with some of the geometrical figures, okay. But what happened during IVC, we'll find out that there were geometrical figures also. Beyond that, the pottery color had also been changed. Now this pottery wares were not only of the red and black polish, they were of the colorful polish also. Especially there are some of the evidences of the indigo, okay, some of the evidences of the indigo, and major of the potteries were colored through vegetable extracts. So there were two evidences of the colors which were found on the Harappan potteries. So here also you will find the geometric figures, okay, you will find the geometric figures, all the lines and circles. These are all geometric motifs, okay. So these designs are simple, okay, these designs are simple and they reflect abstract paintings. They reflect abstract nature of paintings. Is that clear? Fine. Now, when we talk about the further findings, we find that they had the metal doll. Okay, they had the metal doll which was created by the lost wax technique. Okay, now what is lost wax technique? Lost wax technique. Now, what is the lost wax technique? A particular wax model is being created, okay, and it is putted in the clay box, okay, so that this clay would get tight and would get reflect that the shape of this wax model, and slowly this wax would be melted, okay, and taken out. Okay, now when the metal, okay, hot metal would be putted in this wax or the clay, okay, it would generate that particular shape of that wax. Okay, in this way they carried out the lost wax technique, and with this lost wax technique they had created such idols, dancing girls idols. Okay, so this dancing girls idols tells us about there were also the cultural activities which were being followed in the cities or in this urban area. Okay, so at Harappa we found out granaries. Okay, at Harappa city we found out granaries. Granaries for what? To store the food grains for larger amount of time. Okay, and these food grains were again given to the normal people. Okay, now this granaries were at the citadel or at the administrative city. Okay, not at the common places or the common houses. Beyond this, we had the evidence of the red sandstone. The buildings had the major evidences of the red sandstone. Now, whenever you study the history, in the North Indian subcontinent, you will majorly find the red sandstone only. Okay, once you come at the south, you will see the less evidence of the red sandstone. Okay, beyond that, the male torso was also been found at Harappa. Now, this male torso was quite royal in the look, as if he is a particular king. Okay, and that is why we say that the Harappa might be the capital city from where the administration is being run out. Okay, after that we find the stone symbols of lingam and yoni, that is Pashupati and the goddess. Okay, beyond that we find the mother goddess as well as the dice. So there were also the evidences of the games that were being played during this time. After that we have Mohenjo-Daro. Now, what does this Mohenjo-Daro talks us about? It talks us that Mohenjo-Daro was a largest and the planned city, okay, where water harvesting technique was done very efficiently. And this water harvest technique was not only the single feature of the Mohenjo-Daro, but we had also the cremation and the burial, post-cremation and the burial sites at the Mohenjo-Daro. So it marks us that the post-cremation culture rituals were being also followed during this Harappan civilization. Okay, after that the great granary, great bath. Again, the great bath means the great pond of water where everyone comes and takes bath. Okay, or especially the royal people would take bath. So this was the great bath. After that, Pashupati seal was found at Mohenjo-Daro. Bronze dancing girl, which we just now saw, was at Mohenjo-Daro. Is that fine? So these are some of the evidences. There are also some other cities who have the evidences.